iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans, to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the newest mile-and-a-half super speedway. Here tonight, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series will take on this speedway here, as this is the first round of the playoffs. That's right, it's playoff time. The first round, 14 drivers are entered here tonight to battle to move on to the next round. How did we get here? Well, we started at the Daytona International Speedway, where Tony Strano picked up his first career win. Max Terriot won then at Iowa the following week, with Chris Hammett picking up the North Wilkesboro victory. Watkins Glen went to Zach Mitchell, and oh boy, there could be trouble for Zach Mitchell here tonight. He is not here tonight in the server. Max Terriot picked up his second win of the season at the Texas Motor Speedway before James Skelton won at Bristol. Jeffrey Souza picked up the win at Indianapolis, and James Skelton picked up Darlington, along with Charlotte, and Sean Butler picked up the final race of the regular season. But that's the regular season. Those are just the drivers that got in their virtual of wins. The drivers that didn't win: DJ Anderson, Richard Murdoch, Ryan O'Donnell, William Ridgway, Joe Strano, Ethan Troutman, and Jason Wells. Those are the drivers that all pointed themselves in to get into the playoffs, but it's all about them here tonight trying to advance. And it's time now to head down trackside to get our starting lineup. Starting lineup tonight brought to us by our friends at Celeratus Legal. Celeratus Legal using AI technology to put them in the forefront of legal. Sean Butler here tonight will snag tonight's pole here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. To the outside of him, it'll be the number 42 of Max Terriot. The two drivers on the front row have the most wins in the series. Starting in third position here tonight, it's the Alien in the number 64. How about his best qualifying effort ever here on a Monday night? That'll be the 55 of Josiah Millen. He'll start fourth. Joe Strano will start car number 23 into the fifth starting spot tonight. Sixth will be DJ Anderson. Ryan O'Donnell in the Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98 will come out of the gate here tonight into the seventh starting spot. And about Brandon Feeney, car number 38, will start in eighth. Ninth will go to the number 62 of Ethan Troutman. And back into the 10th spot will be car number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Tim Combs will start into the 11th spot, while James Skelton will start 12th. 13th on the call here tonight will go to the driver of car number 4. That'll be the Triad Racing number 4 of Jeffrey Souza. That'll be Joshua Buckley, car number 13, into the 14th starting spot. 31 of Donald Bent starts 15th. Tony Strano 16th. 17th to Richard Murdoch. And the Big Ben, number 45 here tonight. Ben Klutz will start back into the 18th starting spot. William Ridgway, car number 39, will start into the 19th spot. Silveratus legal number 15 of Peyton Johnson will start back into the 20th position here tonight, and 21st will go to the driver of Chris Hammett. 22nd will be Thomas Ridgway, Bruce Potter, Rob Higgins, and Bob Higgins, is how they are all stacked up here on the starting grid. 100 laps here tonight. The next NASCAR Next Generation Cup car, as you see out onto the speedway, making its return back to the series. See how these cars handle the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Atlanta used to be the mile and a half that everybody knew when we were coming to Atlanta. It was going to be slippy. It was going to be slidey. Here tonight, though, it's going to be, well, gripped up, if you will. It will race like Talladega, Daytona. You see that white line? You don't want to go below it. Go below that line and risk getting spun out, getting a penalty, and being sent to the tail of the field. Ready to go racing, though. 100 laps as the green flag is up here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're racing in the first round, first race of the playoffs. As everybody comes up to speed through the 6-speed gearboxes here. Gonna see which one of these lanes here tonight form, develop, and work. So far, looks like the inside has a little bit of an advantage here. It's a long race, 100 laps here. Sean Butler will lead lap number 1. The inside lane had a little bit of an advantage there. It looks like Josiah Millen in the number 55 and the 42 of Max Terriel. They're on the outside lane, and it doesn't seem like they are in too much of a hurry to try to get back to the front here. Possibly just trying to log some laps here tonight. You see that 55 go up the speedway a little bit. Right behind the 55 of Millen, that'll be the 51 of DJ Anderson. A lot of times when we go to super speedway racing, these drivers don't give it all they got in the opening laps. They tend to go to the back of the field. Seems like that outside lane may be coming back a little bit here. You see Max now finally getting close to the front there to put it in a side-by-side battle for the race lead. It'll be off turn 4. Millen's car a little twitchy off turn 4 there. At the line, give it to Max Terriel. So Terriel will lead his first laps here tonight. What does it look like being in the pack here? Let's see if we can take a look. Riding on board with Brandon Feeney. He's the 4th car to the outside lane. That's what it looked like, just riding on board there for a couple moments with Brandon Feeney. He's now the 3rd car to the outside lane because DJ Anderson dropped down to the bottom. Couple cars not in this lead pack here. They elected to drop off the back of the field. It was Bob Higgins, Rob Higgins, along with Thomas Ridgway. Those drivers backed off, sort of like what you'd see at Daytona and Talladega. Some of the drivers electing to just drop off the backside of the field, hope that there's a wreck, and then they miss it. Or see if it plays out, because right now they are falling back heavily. They're 8.5 seconds off the front group. The outside lane seems to be working very nicely now. It took about 4 laps for them to come in. That's when we saw the lead change for Max Terriel to go to the point. Joshua Buckley making some moves up 10 spots, so hold on to her there, old Buckley. Car got down onto the apron there a little bit, and it upset that number 13 of Joshua Buckley. Right behind him, he's got the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. So right now, Max Terriel leading the way. Millen's been behind that number 42 since the drop of the green flag. He has not tried to step out of line. The outside lane right now is Max Terriot, Josiah Millen, Brandon Feeney, Tony Strano. Strano's no stranger to being towards the front at a super speedway. Remember, he picked up the season opener to pick up his first career win at the Daytona International Speedway. So we're always used to seeing the three of Strano to the front. Then there's James Skelton and Richard Murdoch. Murdoch sneaking in here this season on points into the playoffs with that 0-1, the Adventure in Pixel 0-1. And Ryan O'Donnell is also up there. Donald Bennett also on the top side of the speedway here. An inside lane with Joshua Buckley and Michael Trevorthan and DJ Anderson. Seeing if they could pull the inside lane back. Kind of seems like the inside lane has stalled out with Joshua Buckley at the head of it. I don't see the number 2 of Michael Trevorthan beating the back bumper off right now. DJ Anderson has backed off that number 2 also, along with Sean Butler in the 88, who had the pole here tonight. It's all about how aggressive you're willing to get onto the back bumper to see if you can make the moves here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Millen giving that 42 a real good push down the back straightaway, all over the back end of the 42. Already 10 in the books. It'll be 11 into the books this time. Remember we talked about those 3 cars that dropped off the back? Well, there they are. It's Rob Higgins, Thomas Ridgway, and Bob Higgins. They are now 11 seconds back. Actually, sorry, correction. That is 14 seconds back. They're going to have to start worrying here because we're turning lap times around the 30-second markers. And if they continue to fall, well, they're already a half a lap behind. And they're 13 laps into tonight's 100 lap race here at Atlanta. That's still what the front of the field looks like as they work down the back straightaway. One driver that really dropped like a rock here in the opening laps. It's the number 64 of Jason Wells. Wells started towards the front. Second row to be exact for the number 64 of Wells, and he's already back to running into the 22nd position. So 22nd for Jason Wells. Not sure if everything's all right in his virtual sim cockpit for the number 64. We'll continue to monitor that situation here as the night unfolds. The driver, though, who's picked up the most spots, that's the number 3 of Tony Strano. Call him Ace when it comes to super speedway racing. He's picked up 12 spots here early. He's the 4th car to the outside lane right now, sandwiched between Brandon Feeney and James Skelton. Skelton comes into the playoffs with that number 86 as the driver that has picked up the most wins in the regular season. 3 wins for James Skelton in the regular season. Only finished outside the top 10 one time in the first 10 races. Otherwise, it's been top 10s and 8 top 5s. Having one of his best seasons to date in the regular season. We'll see if that switches over here into the playoffs. It's all about the playoffs. Playoffs? Yes, that's right, race fans. Playoffs. See a couple drivers trying to position themselves down to the bottom side of the speedway. James Skelton has gone to the bottom. Richard Murdoch has gone to the bottom. That's because we are nearing green flag pit cycles, and that's going to be a whole nother ball game itself also when we get to the green flag pit cycles. You thought that it's hard to run side-by-side here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway at speeds of roughly 180, 175, call it 5 mile per hour difference there in the corners down the straightaway. Let's see, I'll watch the race leaders here. Who gets to what down the straightaway? I call it 182 down into turn number 1 for some of these race leaders. Talked about those green flag pit cycles that are pending, though. You have to drop off the racing speedway, I believe, back there in turn number 4. We'll see if iRacing has implemented that here tonight. I didn't have quite the opportunity to come in and practice and watch a lot of these drivers tonight. So we'll see if that is what we have to do here. Joshua Buckley and Michael Trevarthen have now moved their machines to the outside lane. One driver that's just kind of sitting quietly back there, that's the 43 of Joe Strano. He has dropped back a little bit. He's got Peyton Johnson back behind him. There you see the Celeradus, number 15 of Peyton Johnson. And then right behind Johnson is the number 39 of Ridgeway. Ridgeway is the only rookie this season that has made the playoffs. And you see that number 39 currently sitting into the 15th position. So 3 drivers just running about the mid-pack right now, just hanging out there. You got the Souza Media, number 4 of Jeffrey Souza, also in this mix. Max Terriot, Josiah Millen, and Brandon Feeney have controlled tonight's race so far, working the outside grooves. See if they're able to keep control of this race up until they decide to come to pit road. Last time by, Sean Butler posted his fastest lap time of the race. A 30.04 for Sean Butler has been the fastest, but the fastest of the night so far has gone to Donald Bennett with a 29.82 second lap. You see the blue and orange, number 31, the driver out of Pennsylvania. The super speedway specialist in himself. He predominantly runs the super speedway style tracks. So no shocker, no surprise to see him running inside the top 10 here early in this one. When drivers see the super speedways on the schedule, they say, oh yes. That's because they have the opportunity. They may not be the strongest at Bristol or Watkins Glen, but when they get to come here to either Atlanta or Talladega, Daytona, the scripts flip, we should say, and they have the opportunity to try to park themselves in victory lane with some of the best drivers here. Max Terriot and James Skelton, one of those drivers that are some of the best here in the series. You can see they're still towards the front here tonight, trying to be smart. It's all about, laying back, holding up a little bit, and taking the runs when you get them. Not forcing the envelope. You force the envelope in one of these big tracks like this, and, well, you can take out yourself and over half the field of your competitors with you. These are one of those tracks you gotta be there at the end to have a chance at the win. Murdoch's posse out there forming up here tonight. There you see the Adventure in Pixel 01 as here comes. Oh! There was contact there. Millen and Terriot were trying to come to pit road. And there's Millen out into the grass. He got tagged by, I believe it was Tony Strano. So Millen will come to pit road. Him and Max Terriot coming to pit road. Let's see if we can bring that back here. Watch the 55 of Millen. He's down on the bottom side of the speedway. Him and Max slow up. Oh, Millen into the back of the number 42 of Max Terriot also. So a lot of drivers making a little contact there. There you see Millen and Terriot are stuck down on pit road. Other drivers now coming to pit road, getting their fuel, maybe some right side tires here tonight, and then they will get back out onto the speedway. Millen and Terriot looks like they both got popped for penalties on pit road. Bob Higgins coming to pit road in car number 30. Oh, and a big lock up there. Bennett from top to bottom. There you see this gaggle of cars coming to pit road. A couple drivers have yet to come down, and that's those drivers that you see there on the screen. The 51 of Anderson, the 88 of Butler, Troutman, and Souza. They have not come to pit road just yet. And it looks like here they come. Sailing them off down on the pit road, so everybody now officially has been to pit road at least. They haven't completed their service just yet. Max Tarrant is back out onto the raceway, race fans. If you're a 42 fan, he's back out there. This might cycle through. Remember the old tandem racing that we saw years ago in NASCAR? Well, this might just be what you're about to watch, because James Skelton and Richard Murdoch are linked together. And then you got to go back about 2.5 seconds back to find the next cars that are going to be behind them. But where's the drivers that are coming out of pit road? Sean Butler, DJ Anderson. There is DJ Anderson. There comes Skelton and Murdoch. They're linked up to the outside. Can hear DJ Anderson lifting a little bit. I think that's to get the 88 of Sean Butler back close to him so they can draft together. There you see the 88 coming back to the 51. Now there goes Sean Butler. He'll swing around to the inside. Anderson gets right tucked up behind him. They're now about 2 seconds behind the race leaders there of James Skelton and Richard Murdoch. So after the first green flag pit cycle, which started back on lap number 25 for some of these drivers and have now completed the green flag cycle, it'll be James Skelton who is out front here tonight. The two fishermen, I guess you can call them. Both live down in South Carolina. Both of them now have boats. Skelton more of the professional type fisherman. Murdoch more of the amateur, I'm just going to go out and see what happens kind of man. They're running 1 and 2 right now. That third car in line, that's the number 45. Ben not on the lead lap right now, but he's in the mix there with the two race leaders. Then you got this group of cars. You got the 88 of Butler, the 51 of DJ Anderson, along with Chris Hammett. And that fourth car in line there, that's the 42 of Max Terriot. Terriot is 2 laps down currently here. So Terriot, who led the opening laps here, is 2 laps down, running 21st here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He just set the fastest lap time of the evening, a 29.8. So this group is moving. They were about, call it a little over 2 seconds behind Skelton and Murdoch. And they got 4 cars, where Skelton and Murdoch, there they are. They only got 3 cars. They're not pushing the envelope, so that second group of cars are starting to chip away and catch the front group. Question is, when will they get there? It's not if, it's when. So we talked about the top 5 drivers here. The 6th place driver, there he is. It's Peyton Johnson. Johnson is running into the 6th spot. He's got William Ridgway right there, Brandon Feeney, and Jeffrey Souza. So Souza running into the 9th spot, picking up a bunch of spots. So did Peyton Johnson and William Ridgway under that green flag pit cycle. Your third group of cars is led by the number 98 of Ryan O'Donnell. There you see that Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry there for Ryan O'Donnell, the driver out of Michigan. He rounds out the top 10. Then you got a string of cars behind him. Trevarthen, both the Stranos. Troutman's right there in the Ream Chevrolet, or that's the Ream Ford actually. And then Donald Bennett, Tim Combs, and Joshua Buckley. So 17 cars there being accounted for. Jason Wells all by himself, still the number 64. Still having problems on the Alienware Logitech number 64 for Wells. He is still on the lead lap, but he is 18 seconds behind the race leader here. And then Bruce Potter is currently the last car that is sitting on the lead lap. And we talked about that second group of cars was going to catch the leaders. There it is. Now it's a one big pack with James Skelton, Richard Murdoch, Sean Butler, DJ Anderson, Chris Hammett, along with 2 lap-down cars mixed into the sprinkle here. See if anybody is going to go ahead and try to make a move, or if they just sit in line here for just a little bit. See the 51 of Anderson kind of jetted to the outside that time in 3 and 4. Didn't know if he was going to make the move or not. They are coming up on the 0-3 currently here, which is going to be... I lost track of the timing and scoring. Look at that. Would you have ever guessed that I got confused on my own timing and the scoring sheet? That'll be Thomas Ridgway there going another lap down on the 0-3. He's currently running back in 22nd. Thomas will see if he can try and tag onto the back of this group, making another car stronger. This group is currently sitting at about 6.3 seconds ahead of Peyton Johnson and his group that are back here. And this is a much bigger... Oh, Donald Bennett up the speedway in turn 3 and 4. That 31, that car kind of took off and started heading towards what was going to be the fence line there. It did look like the 17 of Tim Combs, which is right behind him in the Peter Max Goodwrench number 17. He saw what was about to unfold, and he lifted out of it too. So both those drivers are just going to lose a couple spots here. They're still in the draft. Donald Bennett out to the outside there, kind of all by himself. 13 of Joshua Buckley. Now the Granny Hips Walkers and Kane's entry went to the outside. Maybe try to help Bennett a little bit. Maybe they can get around that number 23 of Joe Strano. There you see the Road Rage Accessories, number 23 of Strano. Well, Rob Higgins having some problems with his interwebs out there. Starting to think you just like to watch more than you race out there, Rob. As you see the battles for the race lead, Murdoch and James Skelton get relegated to losing a couple spots. They fall back to the tail end of this group of cars. So it's now Sean Butler, DJ Anderson, and Chris Hammett. As we close in on halfway here tonight. These drivers all here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. In the first round of the playoffs, tonight the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series enters that first round of the playoffs here. Closing in on halfway. I'm just doing the math real quick here, and if all these drivers go around 25 laps, that's 4 pit stops, but they pushed it a little bit farther. Some of these drivers went 28 laps, so that's 3.5 pit stops here tonight. Maybe a splash and dash at the end of the race if they need it. So we could have some varying strategies here. Maybe some of these drivers saving from the jump, the get-go. See if they can outsmart some of these drivers who are flat to the floor. But look who's about to go a lap down. That's the 64. Jason Wells is about to go a lap down, and that is not good. Wells came into tonight's race as the last driver that made it in on points here tonight. 2 drivers having some problems so far. Wells, obviously, you see him. And then Max Terriel, another driver that obviously is not here, is Zach Mitchell. He had problems getting his season update. When you wait till the last minute to do your season update, it's usually not going to play out good, and that's what happened to Zach Mitchell. That's why he is not here tonight. So he will get a big old goose egg in that category of points here. Looking to see who's the next driver that will be on the chopping block, and it's Joe Strano running into the 17th position right now. Strano doesn't really have much to worry about because he is nowhere near the race leaders. Race leaders are just about 8.4 seconds ahead of Joe Strano. There you see the Road Rage Accessories number 23. So Strano not on the verge of going a lap down or anything. He's in this draft pack. This very large draft pack. They haven't been able to close much on the race leaders, but they're still sitting here at about 7 seconds back. Two laps from the halfway marker here tonight. Sean Butler has reassumed the race lead. The driver that did qualify on the pole here tonight dropped back on the opening laps after leading the first 4. Well, the first 3, Max took over on lap number 4. He's now back out front here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll be halfway into this one. So what do you say as we're halfway? We take a quick... well, we shut our yapper. We'll let you listen to some of these cars, bring you some of the sights from around the Atlanta Motor Speedway. As we were muted there, you see a couple drivers electing to come to pit road here. That was Peyton Johnson, and I believe that's the 39. That is of William Ridgway. So those two working together here tonight. They will come to pit road on lap number 52. So they are definitely on the, well, I believe that strategy. They will have to pit one more time at least here, as it's 2 tires and fuel for the number 39 of Ridgway. He'll leave Peyton Johnson sitting in his pit stall, so that's not going to work out tonight for them. More drivers coming to pit road. James Skelton, Richard Murdoch, all coming to pit road here together. Who will be the next crew of drivers to come? Nobody out of that front group. It does look like the 64 of Wells peeled off. He'll come to pit road. Buckley and a couple other drivers all coming down here also. Hard on the binders there for that number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Ryan O'Donnell just ahead of him. So it is definitely pit stop time here. Do you come early? Do you come late? Do you come with a pack? Do you come with just a couple drivers that you can trust? Here's the race leaders. Big lock up by the number 6. See everybody with these big brake packages on these NASCAR next-gen cars. They come down. One car sideways back there entering the picture frame. That was the 4 Bennett over there in the grass. I don't know if he quite got onto pit road. Looks like he was out in the grass there a little bit with that 31. We'll see what the officials say here tonight. Souza had some problems finding his pit stall. Looks like we're just waiting on that 62 to come to pit road. And yep, Troutman knows about it. Here he comes. big lockup here tonight. A lot of these drivers trying to force the envelope getting to pit road. Get as much as you can. You could gain a lot of time on pit road if you can get in there real quick. There is the supposed race leader, the 88 of Sean Butler. So it looks like once everything's all cycled back through, it'll be Butler and Anderson, Murdoch, Skelton. So it's a 4-car horse, whatever you want to say, breakaway here. Chris Hammett, he has fallen back a little bit. He did come to pit road with that group, but he put on 4 tires. So 4 tires and packed it completely full of fuel. And that drops him back there into the Jeffrey Souza range. So 5th and 6th are running together. 1 through 4 are running together. And then you got William Ridgway along with Ryan O'Donnell. So kind of cars sprinkled all over the speedway. 2 here, 2 there, 3 there. Looks like Ridgway trying to follow Bruce Potter. And Potter looks like he wants to run his own line up to the top side. So Ridgway will go to the bottom with Ryan O'Donnell. Then you got this group. This group looks like they're battling for the win here tonight. There's Feeney, there's Trevarthen, there's Joe Strano, Tony Strano. So these drivers all battling just, it looks like Feeney's running 9th now after that green flag pit cycle. So Feeney is 9th, Trevarthen is, Troutman is 10th, and Trevarthen is 11th. Looks like they're pushing pretty hard on each other. They're trying to get away from Joe Strano there. You see the Road Rage Accessories 23. Used to be the 43, and now he's switched it to the 23, and I still want to say he's the 43, and it's been a season and a half, and I still can't wrap my mind around that number 43 is now badged as the 23, and Tony has always been the 3, so I remember Tony, and plus he's Mom's favorite. And the professional golfer of Tim Combs back here, he can't decide if he wants to drive a Chevrolet, Ford, or a Dodge, or he switches that up every week on us too. He's like the Rick Ware Racing stables of Red Light Racing. Nothing changed out front. There you still see the race leaders, Sean Butler, DJ Anderson, Richard Murdoch, and James Skelton have broken away here tonight with 40 laps to go at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is race 1 of the first round of the playoffs here tonight. The playoffs do take us next week, though, to the Nashville Super Speedway. We get out the NASCAR truck. Max Terriel has been very dominant every time we've gone to the Nashville Super Speedway. They call it a Super Speedway, but it is just a 1.5 mile concrete. That's right, concrete, not asphalt. Concrete track out there just on the outskirts of Nashville, Tennessee. And that's where we will be on December the 18th for the final race of round number 1. There are 3 rounds in the playoffs. This obviously being the first round of the playoffs. And then round 2, we head to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway and Dover before we wrap things up at the Miami Homestead Speedway the way it should be. All championships, I believe, should end up at Miami. Miami, one of the best tracks, I believe, because you can run that car just about everywhere. To the wall, to the bottom, anywhere you want to go. This group back here looks like they finally got themselves organized. Sitting about 10 seconds behind the race leaders, though. They need to really get organized and start pushing on each other. Phoenix being scored 14 seconds behind the race leaders. And then that other group. There we go. There's William Ridgway and Ryan O'Donnell. They got the 59 of Potter right there with them. Peyton Johnson has gone a lap down. He had a penalty he had to serve on pit road, so that put him a lap down. There you see the number 15 of Peyton Johnson. Looking to get around Max Terrell, and he will. That is a battle for position, actually, when you look at it. They are the drivers that are battling 2 laps down. You really would like to be 1 lap down and battle for the lucky dog position. But they are 2 laps down right now, currently. So it's always the battles within the battle of the race that is all going on. Yep, we told you, race fans, the 31 of Donald Bennett getting bit by the pit road monster out there. Is in good position here tonight, so the 31 of Bennett looks like he is out of tonight's race, along with the number 40 of Rob Higgins, the Macho Man. The Cowboy is gone, and Josiah Millen, you saw his issues on the opening round of Green Flag Pit Cycles. He did come back out, run a couple laps, and then has retired. That number 55. Most laps led here tonight will go to the 88 of Sean Butler by the time this one is over. No side-by-side racing right now as everybody's just kind of locked into nose to tail. We're probably looking at about, call it 6, 7, 8 laps away from the next time these drivers will come to pit road. They're going to come to pit road, and it probably, unless something crazy happens, will be the last time they come to pit road. This group being led by Brandon Feeney. They are starting to pull in that group that's actually ahead of them. This group is actually faster than the race leaders right now. It's just they are so far behind. The time that they're going to gain here before we have to pit again is just going to kind of get tacked right back on. There you see now Ridgeway and O'Donnell have been caught by the rest of this group there with Troutman, Trevarthen, both the Stranos, Wells, and Combs. So now it's just one big pack, but 30 laps to go. They're still chasing that pack of cars. Nobody has been willing to really push that envelope here in this group of cars. They all know where they stand. They all know it's going to come down to this final pit stop. When do you go? Who do you go with? Do you all come together? Do you not? It's going to be a monkey see, monkey do kind of race here tonight for these drivers. See the 0-3, Thomas Ridgeway will work to the outside of the speedway. Thomas is one of those drivers that came on this season here with Red Light Racing in that 0-3. Hasn't run full time, but is a rookie this season. Tonight, though, the 0-3 just kind of got the bad end of the stick on pit road. Has never rebounded here. And when you can't rebound and you can't get in the draft and you can't find a partner, it just puts you down the running order. 4 laps down here tonight. Joshua Buckley, I'm also being told, had a pit road penalty on that number 13. Remember, he was a player early on towards the top 5, now back into the 20th position running for the number 13. Here's a pass. William Ridgeway going to give up the lead of this group. Not sure if William just kind of got bounced to the top there and elected to say, you know what, I'll just drop to the back. Or if that was a fuel-saving measure, maybe he's just a couple laps short of hitting his fuel marker, and if he goes to the back of the field, he can lift a little bit, save some. get right back into that fuel number that his team has calculated here tonight at Atlanta. Or maybe he feels there's a caution coming. Bob Higgins has hit pit road. When do we see the race leaders now? Should start to see them eyeing up pit road again. Your race leaders will come by. They will not pit. Does the next group of cars come to pit road here with just 25 to go? One driver scraping the outside wall there. I believe that is the 39 of... It is not the 39. I thought it was the 39 of Ridgeway. Looked like a red car out there, but he is not. Race leaders are just not ready to come to pit road. This will be the money stop. You do not want to make any issues or have any issues, make any mistakes coming to pit road. You make it now, you just don't have the time to rebound. Even if there were a caution to come out late here, it's going to put you so far behind the 8 ball. See this group kind of swerving back and forth. Maybe one too many mug root beers for the driver of car number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. As we got snow last night here in Pennsylvania, I'm sure Michael Trevarthen's still down there wearing shorts and his sandals, or his mandals as he would call it. One driver did come to pit road. There's the 39, and yeah, you can tell he was the one that was up into the outside wall there for a moment. So William Ridgeway coming to pit road. Race leaders are still out there. They're circling the speedway. They are not ready to pit. Nobody out of that big group either. This big group at one time, if you remember, was 16.5 seconds back. They're now only at about a little under that 13-second marker. Here comes... Oh, Peyton Johnson having some problems in the 15. Johnson having problems. Murdoch getting spun off the bumper of the 86. Big problems here on pit road with just 21 laps to go. We talked about you didn't want to have any issues here, and Murdoch got spun off the bumper of Skelton. They were pitting together. You saw the 15 of Johnson have his problems coming to pit road. Here comes the next crew of cars. Here comes the 88 of Butler and the 51 of Anderson. Uneventful for them. They make it to pit road nice and easy. Does the next group of cars also come to pit road? Here comes the 38. Brandon Feeney will come to pit road. Everybody spread out, and this group looks like they will get to pit road. A-OK for them. Let's go back and watch this. Watch the Murdoch, the 0-1 entry. Comes to pit road. James Skelton overcooks it. He missed the commitment cone and then took the 0-1 out. Saw Peyton Johnson all squirrely too. Right on board with Skelton. Right into that right rear. So with 19 to go, it's now these two drivers out front. They pitted, and they had 0 mistakes, no issues. There you see Sean Butler, DJ Anderson, 2 drivers by themselves. Then James Skelton is being scored in 3rd. So Skelton is 3rd. Chris Hammett now is being scored in 4th. Jeffrey Souza is running in the 5th position. Ryan O'Donnell is running 6th. Ethan Troutman is 7th. Joe Strano is 8th. Tony Strano is running into the 9th position. Brandon Feeney is running 10th. There's Richard Murdoch. Murdoch, remember, came in. He was inside the top 4 positions coming to pit road. And now it's back to the 11th running position for Richard Murdoch. He's got the 42 of Max Theriault right there with him. But unfortunately, it's not going to be the night Richard Murdoch was hoping for. Murdoch did come in tonight, got in on points into the playoffs. Still not looking all that bad, but it could have been a win here tonight for that 0-1. It's been a while since he's gone to victory lane here on a Monday. Murdoch's best finish of the season so far has been a pair of 7th place finishes. As you see now, they're stuck in a big group of cars here. When we look at Murdoch and we talk about the last time he's picked up a win, you got to go all the way back to Phoenix. That looks like September 27th of 2001. That was in season number 11 for the Scrambler series here on a Monday night. Before that, October 5th of 2020, and this just looks like a gaggle of cars on the screen here. And now that it's coming down to the end of the race, they got to wonder who's going to go where and who's going to give an inch and who's not. Murdoch stuck to the outside there. He'll lose a couple spots. Talking about Murdoch, he is a 5-time winner here with the series on Monday night. Tonight will not be the night, though. These drivers right here, they are the race leaders with coming to get 13 laps to go, and they got about a 3.5-second race lead over James Skelton, and it's kind of an even duo right now because it's Butler and Anderson, and then it's Skelton, and that's the 64 of Wells, so it's 2 cars and 2 cars. Nobody's really gaining or losing really on that battle. And then there's Chris Hammond. He's got that is Bob Higgins right there with him. So everybody's got 2 cars. So nobody's gaining, nobody's losing. Everybody's pretty much staying even. Got to go back here to Ryan O'Donnell. He's got everybody, but he's over 11 and a half seconds back from the 4th place and the leaders. So they definitely have more cars back here. The problem is they're just going to run out of laps. Ryan O'Donnell's got the Hornet's Nest all over the back end of that. That's that Triad Racing. Stant Analyzer. 3 wide racing back there. Murdoch is 3 wide, trying to come up the gut like a running back on a Sunday. He's got the number 2 of Trevarthen to the outside and Feeney right there to the inside. This is the battle for the 13th position. 13th, and it'll be 10 laps to go next time they all come back around. So they're racing this hard for 13th. How do you think these two are going to race when it comes down to just them trying to come across the line here tonight? 3 cars are out of the race here tonight. We talked about Donald Bennett. He had pit road problems. Rob Hagan had internet problems. Josiah Mellon had pit road problems also in car number 55. So 3 drivers out of tonight's race here, being scored 23rd, 24th, and 25th, respectively, here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Murdoch still trying to make the moves anywhere he can find them. Up top, down low, through the middle. Here comes Murdoch everywhere he wants. He is back inside the top 10. That's battling with Tony Strano. That would be for the 9th position on the Speedway. Remember, these drivers are in the playoff. Nothing changed out front, race fans. I'm still telling you, it's the 88. This is the best battle that you can see on the screen. See, now that outside lane has a little help there. That's the two of Michael Trevarthen. Troutman thought about going up top there and blocking the 0-1. So they're still back here battling. It'll be 6 to go for these drivers as they come out of turn number 4. So 6 more times around the mile-and-a-half speedway here at Atlanta. It's Sean Butler and DJ Anderson still out front. James Skelton, Chris Hammett, Ryan O'Donnell, your top 5. Murdoch now running into that 6th spot. He could get a top 5 yet here tonight. That number 2 of Michael Trevarthen is just beating the back deck lid off that 0-1 of Richard Murdoch. So with 5 laps to go, the flagman showing them 5 fingers into the air. Just 3 cars to that outside lane, and that's actually working very well there for Murdoch and Trevarthen. Oh, hang on to them, boys. That was Feeney and the number 4 there. The Feeney number 38 and the Souza number 4. They were all sorts of hollowed out sideways, kind of door-to-dooring each other down the straightaway there. And these cars, when they get like that, oh, hang on to her. Feeney going to go to the inside. Sliding. He's down on the apron. He'll keep it off the racetrack, so we actually will stay green flag, it looks like here. Green flag staying out. Right now, Sean Butler and DJ Anderson, they want this one to finish off just like it is. This is what happened to Feeney there. He was to the outside. He tried to come down to follow the 0-1 and the 2, and Ryan O'Donnell was down to the inside lane there. So Feeney just kept it off the raceway. That keeps this green flag racing. They're going to come to see 2 laps to go. So it'll be 2 laps remaining here tonight at Atlanta. You win and you move on. You don't have to worry about Nashville next week. So they're coming back this time out of turn 4. We should see the white flag. Wonder if DJ Anderson just stays behind the 88, or does he try to make a move? The white flag is up. It'll be the first one back to the line here tonight. Is it going to be Butler? Will it be DJ Anderson? Both drivers have battled nose to tail all night long. Brandon Feeney down on the bottom side here. Butler going to go to the outside. Here comes the advantage to the 51 now. Looked like the 88 actually just quite moved over, but it will be DJ Anderson here tonight who will pick up the win. So to go to Anderson to Butler. James Skelton will finish there in the 3rd spot. Chris Hammett, and the race across the line. The real race was back here. It'll be Souza finishing 5th. Troutman in 6th. 7th, Tony Strano. Joe Strano in the 8th position. 9th to Michael Trevarthen, and something happened to Richard Murdoch at the end of this one. So to be DJ Anderson picking up the unofficial win here tonight. Those are unofficial results on the left-hand side of the screen. So some victory donuts for the first 2 finishers here tonight. As they do the donuts, we're get prepared here tonight for the Feeney Call post-race show. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back here to Atlanta.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Atlanta Motor Speedway race fans after 100 laps here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing. First round of the playoffs, first race here at Atlanta for these drivers with this car in the playoffs, and well, it will lock one driver into the next round, and that is DJ Anderson. We have him standing by here for tonight's post-race show brought to us by our friends over at the Feeney Call. Remember to head on over to Facebook or even YouTube and type in the Feeney Call and get the latest news from our friends north of the border. Let's not waste any more time. Let's head down trackside, talk to the driver who is standing by in victory lane. A great run for you here tonight, DJ, as you take that Mountain Dew entry and park it in victory lane. Walk us through how 100 laps here at Atlanta, the newest super speedway, is.
I mean, I'm always good at plate racing, and even though this is a smaller track, it's still plate racing. It feels good to get a win, and back to back for Need for Speed. And after the miserable start for both of us to this season, we're peaking at the right time here. Winning the last race of the regular season, and now finishing 1-2, first race of the playoffs. So hopefully we can keep this momentum up and be there for the championship this year again.
Now, you talk about the championship, you talk about momentum. This one officially locks you in to the next round of the playoffs. So now with Nashville next week, what do you do at Nashville with that truck?
Pretty good in the trucks, pretty good at Nashville. So we're going to get to work like always, and really just trying to get Sean that win, if not just a solid run to advance to the next round. And I really want to get that win, at least one of us, go 3 for 3.
Well, now that you lock yourself in, you take a look at the next round of the playoffs. We head to New Hampshire, we head to Dover. Do either one of those sound like a track that you could possibly snag another win at in the next round to move to that final race at Homestead?
New Hampshire is definitely one of those tracks where I used to struggle and put a lot of effort in. Run pretty good there. Dover is another good track that I run good. I knew if I could just make it to the playoffs, this was definitely 5 tracks that I excelled at, especially the season finale at Homestead. So as long as I don't get the issues that were bugging me earlier in the season and just have a nice clean races, I think I should be there. Hopefully, like I said, we'll pick up some more wins along the way, all the way to the championship.
You were there tonight and you were able to pick up the win and lock yourself in. So congratulations, Mr. Anderson. What do you say we roll the red carpet out? Try not to spill your Mountain Dew Baja Blast on it. And who do you got to thank for another victory here on Monday night?
Well, thank you guys for doing this. Everyone at Red Light, to go green flag all the way is phenomenal, especially at a plate track. And my teammate Sean, we put a lot of effort in every week for practicing, trying to come and bring our A game in. Tonight was just the perfect race for us. I hate to kind of use the word, but it was just too easy almost. But when you don't make any mistakes, that's what happens. So hopefully we can continue, and Sean and I can keep this momentum up.
There you hear it. DJ Anderson tonight picks up the big W here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He'll lock himself into the second round of the playoffs on that win here tonight. The driver that will finish here tonight, P number 2. You lead the most laps, though, Sean. I guess it's a contingency victory if you lead the most laps and finish second.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's plate racing. It's all about teammates, and tonight, like DJ was saying, we ran perfect strategy, perfect race, didn't make any mistakes, and here we are 1-2, and that's how we wanted to finish. Doesn't matter who wins. It's awesome that one of us won, and just finishing 1-2 is just nice. It's been a while.
It's been a while since you went 1-2. You picked up a win this season, though. What would it have meant to possibly go to victory lane? Then you don't have to worry about Nashville. I'm looking at your stats. Your stats pretty good at Nashville, though.
Yeah, I'm just not too worried about any of these tracks coming up in these 4 races to get to the championship. I feel like I'm solid at all of them. I could possibly win if I don't have any of the problems like DJ was talking about. We kept having little mistakes. We were making our own mistakes and qualifying and stuff like that. And hopefully we can keep that cleaned up, run up front, and I think we'll be good.
Well, you're definitely good here tonight. We can't wait to see what you can do in that tailgater truck just 1 week from now. So what are you saying? Who's on the side of this absolutely beautiful car? Because I know you got the flag back there on the back spoiler of this number 88.
Yeah, Team RWB. It's a veteran non-for-profit, and just gets veterans and their families together and doing stuff, and just a nice little community. Something I like to do and something I enjoy out here in Columbus, and just looking forward to seeing what we can do next week. I think I'll have the paint scheme on the truck.
Well, we look forward to seeing what paint scheme Butler has next week. He'll lead the most laps here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, but will have to settle for a second-place finish as DJ Anderson made that last lap pass on that 88. The driver that will finish third here tonight will be James Skelton. He's actually on the phone right now. He is on the phone talking to Richard Murdoch. I believe they're figuring out where Skelton's going to be taking him fishing, because those two are going to have some words, I believe, out on the boat. We'll see which one actually returns from the lagoon after they have their little bit of a battle. Chris Hammett does finish into the 4th spot here tonight, while Jeffrey Souza will finish 5th. 6th will go to Ethan Troutman. How about Tony Strano? We come to one of those high-speed plate tracks, as they call them, and he finishes back inside the top 10. It'll be a 7th place finish here tonight for Tony Strano. Joe Strano will finish 8th, then with Michael Trevarthen rallying back to the 9th spot. Murdoch will fall to 10th after rebounding and then falling on the final couple laps here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Tonight's unofficial results, that is, so don't take those as they're locked in stone. Those are unofficial here tonight from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. You can keep up to date with all Red Light Racing news at redlightracing.net. As that's where you will find all the updated point standings here. Those will probably drop tomorrow morning. So until then, everything is unofficial here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The only official thing we can tell you is DJ Anderson is completely locked in to the next round of the playoffs, because we can tell you the 51 of the 88 absolutely spanked him here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 1 week from now, though, we do head to the Nashville Super Speedway with the NASCAR truck. We hope to see you at the virtual Nashville Super Speedway, race fans. But for everybody at the Feeney Call, everybody with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, Southern Legal, and all of us here from the Turn 3 Racing Network, we hope you enjoyed tonight's virtual broadcast from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And until we see you next time, race fans, we hope you stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.